Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So happy you're here. Today I want to share with you a page I did in Krazy Cat's Saddlebag Journal. Now, if you didn't see the video about that journal, I'll pop it up in the right hand upper corner of your screen. You can click it and check that video out and see what that journal is all about. It's kind of fun. All right, so this particular piece was a find in a grab bag, sort of little baggie of jewelry I picked up at an antique store. So I've redone it now for this journal. Here's what it looked like before, and there was only one of them in this little grab bag. I removed the actual earring part of it, and now I'm left with the little circle and the little piece of turquoise dangling from the bottom. So let's move on with this piece and see how much we can change it. I started out with some white gesso, and I just poured a little bit on my finger there and just dabbed it over. And I did this on the front and the back. I wouldn't have needed to have done it on the back, but I did. I also got a little bit of the gesso on the turquoise. No big deal. I just rubbed it off and it worked out fine. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry now after I have that on. And then I'm going to come back in with a little bit of Ranger Espresso. Now this is sort of a liquid sort of distress paint. And it has a dauber at the top, but I'll be honest, this is so old that the dauber doesn't even work anymore. So I just did that with my finger also. I came in and did this pretty lightly at first, and then when I held it up next to the book, I decided that's not quite enough. So I came back in and went dark. I just went for it then, went nice and bold, and I liked that much better. Now, I did bring it in, compare it, liked it, wiped off a little bit of the extra, and then came in with gold paint. I sort of just pushed it around a little bit just to add a little bit of sparkle. Now, this is the fun part. I'm coming in and I'm going to sew this. So I'm piercing a hole right where that earring part was connected. I'm piercing it through 3 sheets of paper or cardstock. Now I'm coming in from the back through that hole, and I've knotted the embroidery floss so it catches. Now I'm going back through the front, being very careful to make one neat, clean hole. That's the thing about sewing paper. You want to make sure you use the very same holes. So now I'm going back down through the first hole, coming up to the front of my paper, and then I'll go back down through the second hole again for the finish. You see there that I had to make sure that the end of my embroidery floss wasn't going to pull through my needle. I am notorious for that. All right, so I've pulled this through now. And this is the fun part of this. It has movement. Because I've stitched it on, it's not like it's glued. So it will have movement as the page opens and closes. I'm leaving a little bit of length to my tail there on the embroidery floss. And temporarily, I'm going to stick some washi tape on there. I'm going to pull the tail taut and then place this washi right over, and that's going to keep it held until I put it in permanently. So there it is. You can see it has a lot of movement. Everything swings, which I really like for this book. Next, I'm going to come in and do a little bit of marking on my book because I want to place this little bit of lace underneath. Now, this is a very quick and easy way to gather if you don't have a sewing machine or you just don't want to go to the bother of getting it out for a little project like this. First, I'm going to go ahead and mark my book where I want that lace, and then I changed my mind, so I remarked. but it doesn't matter because this piece will be glued down onto this page. So no problem. All right, so I've remarked it, and now I'm going to lay in a piece of double score tape. Once I have that in, I'll remove the liner and then start placing the lace over. So we're going to remove that. We're going to rotate the book around to make it a little easier to see. And now I'm just going to hand gather this lace. Now this lace, this little snippet of lace is from a project that I did years and years ago, and I had some left over that had just been sitting around, and I thought, let's just grab a little snippet of it and use this in the book. I've used it on another page in the book also. If you're using a lace that is not very forgiving, you might want to stitch it and gather it that way, because this lace is very forgiving and my double score tape is forgiving. Therefore, I didn't like the way it was. I can just pick it right back up and it does not unravel. If you're using an older antique lace, you might want to be a little more careful with that. But this lace was very forgiving and I had plenty of it, so if I ruined it, it wasn't going to be a big deal. So I think, again, I'm not quite sure I love it the way it is, so I'm going to make a few more adjustments on that lace. And again, because my lace and my tape are forgiving, I am able to do that. So I'm just about happy with it. Now I'm just going to do a few little tugs here and there. And I'm going to come in now with my double score tape and my fabric tack. Now, this double score tape really holds. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the top and bottom. I am not going to go over that black piece of cardstock. I don't want that down on the paper permanently. Here's where I'm going to permanently put in that tail, because once that double score tape is over there, that tail isn't going to go anywhere. I'm going to remove the liners from my double score tape, and then again, I'm going to come in with fabric tack. I like fabric tack because I can go over this double score tape and it's going to give me wiggle room. And you're going to see me use that wiggle room right here. I've gone ahead and put it in, but I'm not quite sure I really love where it is on the page. So I can pick it up and move it. That, it just gives me a few seconds to get that done. So there you can see I'm kind of twisting those little pieces around. And I think that's a lot of fun. I can move those all I want. And I can stick little messages or something underneath there still. Nothing on top of that first layer is permanent. All right, so now I'm going to come in with just a little piece of broken jewelry. It's a little piece of turquoise and some teal colored little pearls with some gold. And I decided I didn't like it there in the corner. I wanted it so it sticks out of the book. So I moved it down onto the lace that you can see right there. All right, this completes the project. Again, I'll leave information in the box below where you can find the video for Crazy Cat's Journal in case you missed that at the beginning of the video. And any comments or questions, you can leave those for me below and I'll get back to you. Have a great week and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.